Joe Hill was born Joel Hagelin on October 7th, 1879 in Sweden before immigrating to America in 1902. He changed his name to Joseph Hillstorm, which was later shortened to Joe Hill. He joined the industrial workers of the world, commonly referred to as the Wobblies. The Wobblies strive to organize the workers ignored by mainstream unions, such as the unskilled, migrants, and minorities. The objective was to create one big union to replace capitalism with industrial democracy. Hill became a prominent labor rights activist who used his artistic abilities as a tool for protest. Along with drawing satirical cartoons, he wrote and performed over 30 songs. Even though he never recorded any of them, many were published in the IWW's Little Red Songbook. Notable tunes he composed includes The Tramp. There's Power in a Union, which is different from the Billy Bragg song of the same name. Casey Jones, The Union Scab, and The Preacher and the Slave, which is credited with coining the phrase pie in the sky.
You will leave by and by in the glorious land in the sky. Looking brave on head, you'll get pie in the sky when you die.
Artists such as Pete Seeger, Cisco Houston, Joe Glazer, Bucky Harker, and Utah Phillips all helped to preserve his music. Another notable tune he wrote was The Rebel Girl, which is different from the classic Riot Girl anthem by Bikini Kill. The song is about influential labor leader and activist Elizabeth Gurley Flynn. One of the more well-known versions of the song is by Hazel Dickens, who updated some of the lyrics. Her version appeared on the 1990 Joe Hill tribute album, Don't Mourn, Organize, Songs of Labor songwriter Joe Hill.
Queen or the princess who have charms made of diamonds and pearls, but the only and thoroughbred lady is the rebel girl.
Part of what helped immortalize Hill's legacy was the circumstances behind his death. On November 19th, 1915, Hill was executed by firing squad in Salt Lake City, Utah, after being found guilty of murder. The evidence of the case was considered suspect, and it is widely believed that he was innocent. A commonly held view of why Hill didn't do more to fight the charges was that Hill felt that dying a martyr's death would help galvanize the workers. In a final message to IWW General Secretary Bill Haywood, Hill made the now famous proclamation: "Don't waste any time in mourning, organize." Hill's will was also composed as a poem.
My will is easy to decide, for there is nothing to divide. My kin don't need to fuss and moan. Moss does not cling to a rolling stone. My body, if I could choose, I would to ashes it reduce, and let the merry breezes blow my dust to where some flowers grow. Perhaps some fading flower then would come to life and bloom again. This is my last and final will. Good luck to all of you. Joe Hill.
After Hill's death, many songs were written in his honor. One of the more well-known compositions is I Dream I Saw Joe Hill Last Night, which is also quite often shortened to simply Joe Hill. It was written by Alfred Hayes and Earl Robinson in 1936. The off-covered standard was first popularized by Paul Robeson.
I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you and me.
It is also widely associated with Joan Baez, who notably performed it at Woodstock in 1969. Phil Oakes also composed his tribute entitled Joe Hill.
Joe Hill was always on the line. Yes, Joe Hill was always on the line.
Artists such as Billy Bragg, Annie DeFranco, and Rage Against the Machine displayed a similar activist spirit. And in connection with Rage Against the Machine, Rage's guitarist Tom Morello has specifically cited Hill as an influence. For example, concerning how Hill inspired his 2018 album, The Atlas Underground, Morello made the statement, they pinned a heart and crosshairs to his chest, so the firing squad wouldn't miss. His ashes were mailed to the four corners of the world, and from those ashes, generations of new revolutionaries continue to rise. The Atlas Underground sprang from those ashes as well. It is proof that ideas, songs, and struggle are bulletproof. The legacy of Joe Hill lives on. Don't mourn, organize. So this concludes the video. So if you want me to continue making videos like this, please like and subscribe. And please leave any feedback in the comments. So the video was based on what I previously wrote on my website, Ongoing History of ProtestSongs.com. So you can feel free to check that out as well. So thanks for watching, and please stay safe.